up, guys? When you want to learn how to do solos and that kind of cool stuff, one of the things that you really need to nail is your hammer-ons and your pull-offs. Now, they end up forming something called legato. And legato basically means smooth. So if you want smooth phrases and lines, then you're going to learn this legato thing. Now, I'm old school. I play the hair metal kind of way from back in the days, a bit Satriani-ish. There's lots of different types of legato. But for today's lesson, what I want to show you is an exercise that my guitar teacher showed me way back eons ago. And this was the way to get my hammer-ons and my pull-offs really, really strong. This exercise is great for doing this. So if you have any notion of putting these hammer-ons and pull-offs in your solos, which you're going to do because it's just one of those 7 techniques that you need, then this exercise is going to be valuable in getting those sounds that you really want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do these permutations. I'm going to do it in the first 4 frets here. Now, if you can't do it down here, you might want to try it further up the neck where you find it a little bit easier. That's fine as well. Just bear in mind that when you do the pull-offs or the hammer-ons, they might sound a little bit odd. But it's not about it sounding great, it's about the results that you're going to get. Now, if you do this every day, you will end up with super strong legato, hammer-ons and pull-offs. You're going to be really, really developing the small muscles in your fingers here. And I think when my teacher gave me this all those years ago, I hammered this for about 3 months, and this was the thing that helped me to get legato down. Now, don't worry about memorizing all the permutations. I'll put a link to a PDF in the description of this video below. You just click on that link and then we'll scoot that over to you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk you through this exercise. Now, we need to set up some rules so we know what we're doing here. When we hammer on, we want the note that we hammer on to be just as loud as the note we've just picked. So when I pick the note, I want same sort of volume. I don't want to be going quiet like that. We don't want to be shy in this, yeah? We want to think about finger placement as well while we're doing this. It's all about developing the subtleties of hammering on and how much it takes to hammer on. So when I pick this note, I'm going to pick the first one here. This is the first fret. I've got my index finger and my middle finger. These are the only 2 fingers I'm going to use for this first part of the exercise. So what I do is I hold down this note here just behind the fret wire, and I'm going to hammer on this second note here with my middle finger on the 2nd fret. And I go like this. Now, you might see my thumb is quite high up here, and if you want to, you can switch where your thumb sits. You might find it easier if it's down in the middle there. That's actually probably going to be a better spot for me to do it. So I'm starting on the 1st fret here, and I'm going to the 2nd fret, and what I do is I hammer on. Now, when I hammer on, I want to make sure I put plenty of weight on that finger there and snap. I don't want to just hit the string. I want to try and hit behind the string. And I want to really be aiming behind the back of the neck, really. So I want a lot of snap to that. And I'm going to go across all 6 strings here. So that's all 6 strings, guys. Now, it's not about speed. It is about clarity of tone. So you've got to make sure that if you fire through that really fast, you're going to sound all flubby and it's not going to be nice. We want to make sure we get a good quality tone. And you can hear I've got some distortion on here. You can do it clean as well. But if you are using distortion, then you need to keep the strings nice and quiet with the karate chop part of your hand on the bridge down here. You need to move that around and mute the strings that you aren't using, as well as using fingers on this hand as well. So as I move across, I can feel that I'm using the underside of my fingers to mute the strings as I reach over to that G string. And my first finger here is muting out all these open strings that I'm not using, but I'm double muting down here as well. So really, it's about keeping it clean. Now what we're going to do is get into this idea of how your hand actually works. these two fingers share a tendon across here. Now what happens is these two fingers want to work together. So we're going to work in all the ways that these tendons work. So let's move on to the next one. We're going to start on the second finger and we're going to hammer with the third finger now. So going from the middle finger to the ring finger, hammering on there, just on the second and third fret. That's the second permutation. Now we're going to go on to the weakest two fingers. So make sure you don't dodge this one, guys, because this is really beneficial. So we go from the third finger, the ring finger, to the pinky on the third and fourth fret. So you can see we've done these groups of two now going up there like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this now, and I'm going to use finger 1 and finger 3. I'm going to leave a gap fret here, so you can see this second fret is a gap. So I'm going to hammer on here first to the third fret with the first and the third finger. So that's pretty cool. You're going to use that all the time in your pentatonic scales. But here's a weird one, because this will come into your 3-note per string pattern stuff that you're going to end up doing. So we're going to use the middle finger to the pinky. Now this is a little bit of an odd one. It's tricky, but we'll do it. So here we go. We've got another group of two that we're going to do, and that is where we go from the index to the pinky here, from the first to the fourth fret, and we're just going to do a hammer on there. And as you can see, as I move around, my thumb drops down towards the back of the neck. So what we have is another permutation, and this is going to give you something chromatic. And what we end up doing here is 2 hammer-ons, because we're going to do fret 1, fret 2, fret 3. So let's do that now. We're not done yet. We've got to do finger 2, finger 3, finger 4. This is a bit tricky as well. Right, so we've done a group of 3 there. We have one more permutation left to go, and that's where we hammer on all 4 notes now. So we're going to use all 4 fingers, 1 finger per fret. Finger 1 on fret 1, finger 2 on fret 2, finger 3 on fret 3, and finger 4 on fret 4. So we go like this. I've done all those permutations there, getting used to those movements, and I can already feel that my hand is starting to warm up, so this is a great exercise to warm up your hands with as well, guys. So that was the hammer-on section part of this. Now what we're going to do is the pull-off section. I think pull-offs is a bit of the wrong word for it, because really you're just plucking the string with the finger that you're pulling off. This is the pull-off finger, and this is a static finger. So if we pluck the string, and then we pull down. So you see what's happening is I'm playing that note with the pick, and then I'm plucking that string there. So if I don't use my pick, and if I just do a pull off on its own, then you can hear I get a good strong note out of that static finger that's underneath. So that's what I'm aiming for. The same thing again here, guys. When I pluck the string, I want the pull off to sound just as loud as the note that I picked. So I go pick, pull off. Now we're on to the second permutation of this, and as you can guess, this is where we're using the same patterns that we did for the hammer-on, but we're using it for the pull-off now. So we're going to do that from finger 3 to finger 2. Now this can feel tricky as you move towards the thicker strings here. So I'm pulling down and I'm plucking that note with my third finger there. As I do that, my thumb is rotating round with it to facilitate it. So this is a weak one. This is tricky. So let's see how I get on, because I haven't done this exercise for a while, if I'm honest. Okay. So that is the group of two, which is these two notes that are next to each other. I'm going to do it with the third and the first finger. So this is another group of two, but these are a tone apart. These are a step apart here, guys. So I'm going to go from fret 3 to fret 1. This is the pull off. Here we go on the B string. Now this is a weird one as well. You might find this a bit tricky. This will root out and find where the weakness is in your pull-offs and your hammer-ons. So we're going to go from the pinky to the second. So there we go. We've got one more two-note pull-off, which is the 4th fret to the 1st fret. So there we have that wide-ish stretch, nothing too strenuous, but it's just getting you used to how that pull-off sounds. So now what we're going to do is those pseudo semi-chromatic ones, and basically it means I'm picking on this one, I'm going to pull off to this one and pull off to this one, so it goes pick, pull, pull. And those are all sounding the same volume. Same on the G string. Now here's a tricky one again, from the 4th to the 3rd to the 2nd. Right, so that's those groups of 3 there. Now I've got one more permutation left, and that is 4, 3, 2, 1, and these are all pull-offs. So let me put those together. 4, 3, 2, 1. So there you go, guys. That's a cool little exercise that will help you with your hammer-ons and your pull-offs. If that position's too much for you, you can put a capo on. And then you can play it in a further up position, whatever feels most comfortable for your hand. And if you want to, you do it higher like that with the capo, and you move it down a fret, move it down a fret, move it down a fret as you get better at it, until you don't need the capo at all. I heartily recommend you do this every day. If you did this every day, it's going to give you that strength that you need to be able to play legato style guitar, just like the Joe Satriani sort of thing, or the Steve Vai thing. It's just a cool way to play your scales. And once you've got solid legato pull-offs and hammer-ons, then you might enjoy this lesson here.